shloka. How many of you have memorized it already? Okay. I will chant, please repeat after me. This is the opening Mangala shloka for the Yoga Vasishtha as such. Yatas sarvani bhutani pratibhanti sthitani cha yatraivo pashamam yanti tasmai satyatmane namaha. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste madam. Really honored to have you here. So, in the previous session, we also completed another shloka. We did all the introduction, background of Yoga Vasishtha, what context, in which this Adi Vyadi shlokas. How many shlokas are there in connection to Adi Vyadi in Yoga Vasishtha? 38 and half. 38 and a half shlokas are there. So, of which we have done one shloka. So, the first one we did. How many of you can memorize? How many of you already? That is very essential. Yes. Can we all chant it together? I really appreciate all those who have memorized. Having it in memory is the key in all this. As I hope you remember the shloka that I quoted. What is that? Pustakastha ya vidya parahastagatam dhanam karyakale samutpanne nasa vidya natadhanam. So having the Adi Vyadi concepts here will help more. Because you are all physicians, doctors, so in the context of application you should remember, so that this wisdom can be remembered on by practice, by putting it in your smriti. So let us all chant this shloka together, which we have already practiced. Yes. Rama commences asking whom? Vasishtha Maharishi that Adhayaha Vyadhayaha, these Adhis and Vyadhis, Adhis mental afflictions and Vyadhis the physical ailments, illnesses. So Kim Vinashaha, Kim Vinashaha, so how are they destroyed? Kimutpadaha, so from where do they manifest? Where Adhis and Vyadhis? Sharire asmin sharire, in this body. Yathavat, as such. Kathaya, stated to me. Ashu, quickly. So this is the question that Rama asks, to which Vasishtha responds. So this is where we have to start today's session. Now I will pada by pada I will chant. Please repeat after me. Shri Vasishtha Uvacha. Shri Vasishtha Uvacha. Shri Vasishtha Uvacha. Adhayo Vyadhayaschaiva. Adhayo Vyadhayaschaiva. Adhayo Vyadhayaschaiva. Vayam dukhasya karanam. Vayam dukhasya karanam. Vayam dukhasya karanam. Tannivrittis sukham vidyat. Tannivrittis sukham vidyat. Tannivrittis sukham vidyat. Tatshayo moksha uchyate. Tatshayo moksha uchyate. Tatshayo moksha uchyate. Two padas together. Adhayo vyadhayaschaiva. Adhayo dukhasya karanam. Adhayo कारणं तन्निवृत्तिः सुखं विद्यात् तत्क्षयो मोक्ष उच्यते। Each of you should try to get this claps. Okay. Alright, we'll stop. Leave it here. You can memorize later. So, Shri Vasishtha Uvacha. Shri Vasishtha Uvacha. We will do the word split now. Shri Vasishtha Uvacha. Adhayaha. I will do it once and then we will all do it together. Again, we do this word split so that what exactly exists there, we should be able to understand. It should not be mystical. We have to demystify. That's why we are doing this word split. Adhayaha, vyadhayaha, cha, eva. Dvayam, dukkhasya, karanam. Tannivrittihi is one word. Sukham, vidya, tatkshayaha is again one word. Moksha uchyate. When you split this, it becomes mokshaha uchyate. So, in essence, 2 or 3 places only the conjunctions are there. Adhayo, vyadhayaschaiva. There it becomes adhaya. And then vyadhayaschaiva is vyadhayaha cha eva. And then this mokshaha uchyate. Can we all do it together?
Yes.
Yes. There Vasishtha Uvacha. Again, when you split that, it becomes Vasishtha Uvacha. Yes. From there, let's start. Not adhayo, adhayaha. There is still lack of clarity. Adhayaha, vyadhayaha, cha, eva. Once again. So, in the previous shloka, Rama asked about from where the vyadhi is manifest and how are they overcome. Quickly tell me. So, to that, slowly Vasishtha Maharshi is giving an entire, as if this contains the entire essence of what is going to be spoken. Now, let us see the word meaning and then get into the concept analysis in this. So, you can see here adhayaha. Adhi is a singular, adhayaha is plural, because ailments or mental afflictions are not single. There are many varieties are there. So it was already recognized. See, by the mere plural usage itself, it is understood that so many varieties of mental ailments were already recognized. Human life, human suffering was already studied well. So that plural itself indicates that. And then vyadhayaha cha eva. Cha eva are conjunctions. They are sometimes fillers in the shloka, pada, so that there is a requirement that 30 22 letters are to be there in Anushtup shloka. So sometimes as filler and sometimes this cha is a conjunction and in that sense. So that is used. So let's focus on the important word there, vyadhayaha. Again, just like adhayaha is plural, vyadhayaha is plural. What is the singular? Vyadhi. So adhayaha, mental afflictions, vyadhayaha, physical ailments, plural is important. So physical ailments, dvayam, these two. See, most of these words are there in each of our regional languages. So most of it you can make. I will facilitate wherever special explanation is required. So dvayam, which two? Adis and vyadhi. Dvayam, dukkhasya, dukkham, suffering, of suffering, karanam, reason, cause. So these two, adis and vyadhis, these two are the cause of suffering. Okay. Tan nivrittihi, tesham nivrittihi, tan nivrittihi, overcoming them, sukham, happiness, comfort, sukham, happiness or comfort, vidya, understand, you understand. So Vasishtha is advising Rama, vidya, you understand. Tat kshayaha, the total removal of it, the complete removal of it. Mokshaha, liberation. Uchyate, it is stated. So tan nivrittihi is the subsiding of them. The subsiding of them is sukham, comfort. See, each and every word is very much loaded. Tan nivrittihi sukham, the subsiding of adi and vyadhi is sukham, vidya, is comfort. Tat kshayaha, what was the meaning that they gave for tat kshayaha? The complete removal is mokshaha, is stated as mokshaha. So you can see in general what is the summary. The Vasishtha says there are two causes of human suffering, that is adhis of various kinds and vyadhis of various kinds, and then how to manage them, how to overcome them, what is the process or the general approaches. There are two approaches, the nivritti of them and their moksha. So they can be made to subside. When they subside, it becomes sukham, comfort, and then their total removal becomes moksha. So in this way, almost the essence of the Chaturvyuha that we see in the Yoga Sutras is almost presented. The essence of the Chaturvyuhas are presented. What is Chaturvyuha? 4 approaches to managing or the yogic approach, 4 strategies. Vyuha is a strategy. The fourfold, the 4-stepped strategy to address the various problems that we face through yoga. So what are the 4 components? Heyam. How many of you have studied Patanjali Yoga Sutra? Then these are fundamental lessons. Heyam, Heya Hetu, Hana, Hanam, Hanopaya. These 4, the fourfold approach is there in Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Which chapter? Second chapter. In second chapter, this fourfold approach is given. Heyam is Heyam Dukkham. What is to be overcome? Suffering. So here also the Heyam Dukkham is already been mentioned. So you can see the means we can go from the known to the unknown. What we already know, what I assume that you already know is Yoga Sutras. From Yoga Sutras we can go to the unknown, that is Yoga Vasishtha. That's why I brought in that Chaturvyuha. Okay, so the point is the heyam, first dimension is dukkham. Why at all we look for some solution? Because there is problem. Because there is problem, we look. So problem is the starting point everywhere. So heyam is given first. So in accordance to the ancient yogic wisdom, Vasishtha Maharshi also brings in the first point, that is heyam, that is dukkham. So heyam is dukkham, and then what is the heya hetu as stated in Yoga Sutra, the cause of suffering. What is the cause of suffering? Drashtru drishayoho sanyogaha heya hetuhu. The conjunction of drashta and drishyam, the consciousness and the prakriti or the mind-body complex. So the conjunction, the apparent conjunction between the drashta and drishyam is the heya hetu. So heyam is suffering. What is suffering? Pain, discomfort, unease, and not the normal state of life. So that is dukkham. So there the heya hetu was presented as the conjunction between prakriti and purusha, drashta and drishyam. Here the heya hetu is presented as already karanam. The heya hetu has already been mentioned. What is the karanam for dukkham? Adi and vyadhi. So dukkham is what brings us to the focus. What is the solution? So dukkham is the first dimension. The second aspect is we have to search for the cause of the suffering. So what is the cause of the suffering according to Yoga Vasishtha? Adhis and vyadhis, mental afflictions and physical ailments. Okay, so heyam, heya hetu. And then hanam. What is hanam? Sir? Avoidance, hanam, the overcoming of it. Kaivalyam, tad drishehe kaivalyam hanam. Means when in Yoga Sutra we see that when the consciousness is aloof, separated, disjuncted from the prakriti and its influence, so that is the state of kaivalyam, and then that is kaivalyam, and that is the total overcoming of all sufferings. That is a hanam there. But here, two types of hanam are mentioned here. See, these are very interesting parallels that we see. Two types of hanam is mentioned. Tan nivrittihi, tat kshaya. One relative hanam is given and one absolute hanam is given. So the absolute hanam as per Yoga Sutra is kaivalyam, and that is mentioned here. Moksha. Moksha is given. That is sorry. Make it small. Okay. So the hanam dimension in comparison to the Yoga Sutra is, while in Yoga Sutra it is kaivalya only hanam, the state of freedom from suffering. Here the state of freedom from suffering is twofold. One is for the time being, and then one is absolute. So tan nivrittihi, that's why I carefully gave the translation as tan nivrittihi, subsiding, and then tat kshaya. So freedom from the dukkha happens when you are freed from the adhis and vyadhis for the time being, which is tan nivritti. And freedom from suffering once for all happens once that the kshaya of the adhi and vyadhi happens once for all. Then that hanam is called as moksha. So two types of hanam, nivritti and kshaya. And then hana upaya. Hana upaya. So heyam, heya hetu, hanam and hanopaya. What are the means to achieve that? What is the means to achieve that state of freedom from suffering? In Yoga Sutra, what is the means to achieve the state of freedom from suffering? not Abhyasa Vairagya indirectly. What is the direct hit which removes or which directly leads to? Vivekakhyatihi aviplava hanopayah. Vivekakhyati means clarity, the discriminative clarity. Discrimination here in a positive sense, which means this is Prakriti and this is Purusha. That is the Viveka. And Khyati means not just a hearsay knowledge, a very fundamental, clear knowledge, that is Viveka Khyati. So a very clear understanding of what is Prakriti, what is Purusha, that Viveka is the Hanopaya, and that Viveka is strengthened by, as you said, Abhyasa Vairagya, Kriya Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. So this is how that is connected there. And here, what is the Hana Upaya? What is the means to address the suffering that is indicated in this shloka itself? We can see, Sukham is the outcome. So what is the means? So what is the tool? We have to go back to the same words, Nivritti and Kshaya. So to address the suffering generated by Adi and Vyadhi, you can approach, as a physician, you can approach a twofold dimension, that is in treating the patient, that is, one is immediately help their suffering to subside, Nivritti, and then address the long-term issue. So this twofold approach of Nivritti and Kshaya, so that is the approach, that is the Hana Upaya in leading the sufferer or the person undergoing some kind of a dukkha towards the sukham or the state of comfort. So in essence, I will summarize this once again. I was just discussing this shloka. So this is a kind of an atom bomb. Means in this entire philosophy or entire approach of the yoga Vasishtha towards Adi and Vyadhi is summarized, where you find the Chaturvyuhas there. So what is a Heyam according to Yoga Vasishtha or Vasishtha Maharshi? Dukkham. So that is universal. So Dukkham is Heyam, suffer. No one wants suffering. Anyone wants suffering? No. So suffering is Heyam, universal. And then Heya Hetu, what is the cause of suffering? Adi and Vyadhi. So Heya Hetu is already given. And then Hanam, state of freedom from suffering. What is the state of freedom from suffering? A temporary state of freedom from suffering, and then a permanent state of freedom from suffering. Then Hana Upaya, what is the approach? What is the methodology to attain a temporary state of freedom from suffering and permanent state of freedom from suffering? First, address the symptoms, help the patient or the person to come to some kind of terms with his suffering, try to bring the person to a kind of calmness, and then look at the long-term solution. So this twofold Hanopaya is also mentioned here. Are you with me in this?
Yes.
Is this clear? Yes. So the Chaturvyuha, we are aware of in the Yoga Sutra. The concept of Chaturvyuha is also much more closer to home interpretation we can see from Yoga Vasishtha. And then interestingly, as I said in the very first session, we will not end with the mere analysis of the words. We will also go into the commentary. As I said, Tatparya Prakashika commentary has been written on this. Is there any interesting insight that we can take home from the commentary? Again, the key words in this shloka is Nivritti and Kshaya. That is where we treat the patient. So, Nivritti, what is the Nivritti Upaya that is mentioned in the commentary? It is said that Aushadhi Anunayehi Tatkalika Upashamaha. So, what is the Nivritti Upaya? What are the temporary or immediate methods to address the Adhis and Vyadhis? Aushadhi. Aushadhi is herbs or medicines to address what? Adi or Vyadhi? Predominantly Vyadhi. Yes. And then Anunaya. Anunaya is a beautiful terminology that you find in the commentary. Anunaya means counseling. So Anunaya is counseling. So the nivritti, the temporary nivritti or overcoming or subsiding of adhis and vyadhis can happen by Aushadhi and Anunaya. Aushadhi for vyadhi and Anunaya for adhi. So beautiful concepts of how to address immediately this thing has come. And then so they have all thought about each and every dimension. And then tat kshayaha, overcoming it once for all. How to do that? That is by Tattvajnana. Tattvajnana means only when you under that ultimate understanding is always there. The Shastra never compromises on the ultimate truth. So while suggesting how to manage the current suffering, so there is a strong foothold on the present, and at the same time there is a very clear vision as to where the patient or the one who is seeking care should be taken. So ultimately, Tattvajnana, the knowledge of the reality, what my nature is, am I the mere body, am I the mere senses, am I the mind? So this Tattvajnana is what will finally lead to the Kshaya. Once for all the adhis and vyadhis will subside and a person will attain moksha. So in that sense, a physician should, while have an understanding of the Vaidyakiya Shastra very strongly, he should also be a Vedanti. So for the present, for the nivritti, whatever suggestions, counseling, medical treatment that he has to do, and for the subsiding or overcoming it once for all, for that whatever be the medical practice a person does, be it allopathy, homeopathy, or Ayurveda, natural, whatever approach, this is a beautiful guideline for each and every physician across the globe. Whatever discipline he follows, he should look at the nivritti and also kshaya of the vyadhi. So nivritti comes from all the what you call evidence-based medical practices, and kshaya comes by and comes only by Vedanta. Vedanta and yogic knowledge, that ultimate philosophical knowledge only will bring about the subsiding of the illness once for all. Because in Tamil there is a saying, Yakkai Idumbaikku Ilakku. In Thiruvalluvar is an ancient saint who wrote Tirukkural, 1330 shlokas, small shlokas in Tamil he has written. So there it has been quoted that Yakkai Idumbaikku Ilakku means Yakkai means the body, Idumbaikku various illnesses, Ilakku target. So this body, as long as it exists, it is going to be the target of illnesses, one kind of or the other. So while you can always do firefighting by Tannivrittihi, the ultimate knowledge that Kshaya for moksha, that should also be given by a physician, but not before addressing or calming the patient down to the level of a sukha, a level of comparative sukha he has to be brought, and then gradually the moksha dimension should also be brought. Such is the very clear structure in the healing that has been there, and the question was made and then the answer has been made as comprehensive as possible. Can you see this? So that is the beauty of our scriptures, which bring in all the dimensions. As I said, I interpreted all the four aspects of Chaturvyuha, which is covered even in Patanjali Maharshi. He took 4 and many sutras, especially in the second chapter. Most of the sutras, Heyam Dukkham Anagatam, is 2.16. From 2.16 to 2.28, the entire Chaturvyuha is discussed. Patanjali Maharshi even takes so many sutras, but Vasishtha Maharshi conveys it in just one shloka. All the Chaturvyuhas, you get it in just one shloka. That is the beauty of it, and that is the importance of this text, and that underlines why we should study more of Yoga Vasishtha along with Patanjali Yoga Sutras. So this is the second shloka. Can we now chant the shloka with all the meanings in the mind? Yes. Okay, please. Sri Vasishtha Uvacha, with acknowledgement to who gave us this knowledge. Yeah, actually, this shloka provides a content for a literary review paper. A comparative study of Chaturvyuha in Yoga Sutra and then Yoga Vasishta. Please include my name as a co-author. Whoever writes it. So, just giving a. Actually, we should include Vasishta Maharshi as the co-author for everything. I cannot claim this. This comes from Vasishta Maharshi. And Valmiki Maharshi who put it in writing. So Valmiki has written it, Vasishta has spoken it. So in that sense, they are all to be included as co-authors. Right. Now, so I was just joking as to please include.
Question, sir.
Yes, sir.
That shloka is completely based on Karma Siddhanta.
Um,
Adi and Vyadi. What can we take it?
Adi
It's all
and
based on karma. Adi and Vyadi. Keeping that Karma Siddhanta base only, we can explain that. No, Adi and
that's
Vyadi.
true. Means when they speak of moksha,
Moksha, yes, sir.
when
Yes.
they speak of moksha
Then-
cannot be explained without karma.
Karma. Exactly.
So we are stuck with adis and vyadis because of the karma. In that
Yes,
sense, the
exactly.
karma correction can be brought.
It's
Yes.
all based on that Karma Siddhanta.
Certainly.
Yes.
So now, after having given a complete overview of the idea about adis and vyadis, now Vasishta Maharshi slowly and beautifully corrects he just now kim vinasha, kim utpada, this point. So in Rama's question, kim utpadaha adhayaha vyadayascha chaiva, how do they manifest? How do the adhis and vyadhis manifest? So that concept is now spoken in this shloka. Now before going into this, I would just want to show the chart for the previous shloka. If you want to put it in a flow chart manner, which will be more easier to remember. So, if Sukham, can I write in Devanagari or in English? Should I write it in English?
Devanagari.
Devanagari. If Sukham is there, so and Sukham is impeded by Adhis and Vyadhis. So Sukham is attained by Nivritti and Moksha. See, Sukham here is Parama Sukham. In the commentary of Tattva Prakashika commentary, Sukham is also classified into two. One is Tatkalika Sukham. Oh, this suffering I have overcome somehow. Yes, that is Tatkalika Sukham. And then the Parama Sukham, Atmanaha Sukham. The very nature of the Atman is Satchit Ananda Swarupa. So two types of Sukham which can be attained by Nivritti and Moksha. And then Nivritti of Adhi and Nivritti of Vyadhi. So Nivritti, what is Nivritti? Is it temporary or permanent? Temporary subsiding. So Nivritti of Adhi happens by Anunaya. Nivritti of Adhi happens by Anunaya. Nivritti of Vyadhi happens by Aukshati. Yes. And then Moksha. Moksha means that freedom from the suffering, which is also Kshaya, means the deterioration of all these Adhis and Vyadhis once for all. That happens by Tattva Jnanam. So if you want to put it and remember it in the form of a chart, this can be done. In essence, so much of an information he has packed it in the form of shloka. We think that chanting this shloka is kind of a puja or something like that, but these are all mines of information in this form. Now, Now we go into the third shloka, where again Vasishtha speaks about the cause of adhis and vyadhis in general, how do they manifest, and then from the 14th shloka, initially adhis are taken up, 6 or 7 causes of adhis are spoken, and then 12 causes of vyadhi is spoken. Now this is common, this 13th shloka is common to both adhis and vyadhis. Shall we chant this shloka? Okay. Mithah kadachit jayete, mithah kadachit jayete, mithah kadachit jayete, kadachit samameva cha, kadachit samameva cha, kadachit samameva cha, paryayena kadachit cha. Mithah kadachit jayete, kadachit samameva cha. Mithah kadachit jayete, kadachit samameva cha. Mithah kadachit jayete, kadachit samameva cha. Paryayena kadachit cha, adhivyadhi sharirake. Paryayena kadachit cha, adhivyadhi sharirake. Paryayena kadachit cha, adhivyadhi sharirake. Full shloka. Mithah kadachit jayete, kadachit samameva cha, paryayena kadachit cha, adhivyadhi sharirake. Mithah kadachit jayete, kadachit samameva cha, paryayena kadachit cha, adhivyadhi sharirake. Mithah kadachit jayete, kadachit samameva cha, paryayena kadachit cha, adhivyadhi sharirake. So last time the middle row contributed a lot in memorizing the shloka. Can we expect from this row this time?
Mithah kadachit jayete, adhivya
Kadachit.
kadachit samameva cha. Paryayena
Kadachit cha, adhivyadhi sharirake. We are all yogis. Ekagrata is what is needed. Simple ekagrata can manage. Easy shloka only. Many shlokas we chant. So this is also who else? Someone else from this row? Here? Yes.
Mithah kadachit jayete, kadachit samameva cha, paryayena kadachit cha, adhivyadhi sharirake.
See, the beauty of Sanskrit shloka is there will be repetitions. See, what is the word which is repeated? Let us not go into the meaning also. The sound also is there. What is the sound which is repeated? Kadachit, kadachit, kadachit. You have to build around this kadachit. That's all. then the entire shloka will be remembered. Amantramaksharam nasti, nasti moolam anaushadham, ayogya purusho, nasti yojakastatra durlabha. If you remember this, if you hold on to this nasti, all other things will come. Similarly, if you hold on to this kadachit, all other things can be remembered. Okay, there were ekasantagrahis, dvisantagrahis and so on and so on. Just one time is needed, that's all. Just focus. Right. So, we will now split the shloka. Mithaha. Please observe there are a lot of word splitting here. Mithaha, hair splitting, word splitting. Okay. Mithaha kadachit jayete. So, kadachit jayete is split as kadachit jayete. And then kadachit samam eva cha. Paryayena kadachit cha. Kadachit cha becomes kadachit cha. Adivyadhi is one word, sharirake. So only 3 places again. So kadachit jayete is split as kadachit jayete. And then samameva samameva kadachit cha kadachit cha. Now can we split the shloka together? After every split word, give a small pause. Then that's when we can know that we have recognized that as an individual unit. Okay. Now. Mithaha kadachit jayete kadachit samam eva cha paryayena kadachit cha adivyadhi sharirake. Adivyadhi is a single compound word. You should not give a pause in between them. So adivyadhi sharirake. Okay. It's very interesting shloka. So let's come from a different starting point. Let's not start from there. Going by the Anvaya Krama means paraphrasing. We can start looking at the central terminology here. Adivyadhi. Adivyadhi is Adi and Vyadhi. Adi and Vyadhi. Sharirake, in this body. Adi and Vyadhi, in this body. So it is about Adi and Vyadhi which are there in this body, which is now spoken. How do they manifest? Okay. It is now said that Mithaha, or let us come to the Kadachit. Kadachit. So how many Kadachit? 1, 2, 3. So Kadachit means sometimes. Sometimes. So all the 3 Kadachits have been explained. So sometimes this Adi and Vyadhi in this body, Jayete, they manifest. So sometimes this Adi and Vyadhi, they manifest. So next question is, how do they manifest? Mithaha. Mithaha means parasparam. One leading to the other, one causing the other.
So can that be simultaneously?
Not simultaneously. One causing the other. I'll just give the word meaning. Let's analyze this later. So mithaha means the general meaning of mithaha is parasparam, means one causing the other. So these Adis and Vyadhis, they they manifest in a parasparam manner, means one causing the other. Okay. And then kadachit samamevacha. Sometimes they manifest simultaneously. At the same time we will feel both Adi and Vyadhi. So this Adi and Vyadhi, mithaha kadachit jayate. One causing the other, in that manner Adi and Vyadhi manifest. Kadachit, some other times samamevacha, means they simultaneously. We will have something inside going and something externally also we will be suffering simultaneously. The how of it all, that is clarified in the commentary. I will come to it in the second round when we come to the analysis. And then paryayena. Paryayena means in turns. Paryaya means in turns. So in turn with what? There will be sukham and then adi. And then there will be dukkham. There will be sukham, there is adi. And then again sukham, vyadhi. So in this way, adi and vyadhi will be experienced alternatively with sukham. So the vyadhi will manifest and then it will subside. Then some relief. And again vyadhi will manifest and it will subside. Then adi will manifest. So this appearance, some comfort, again the other thing will appear. So in this way, in 3 ways, this adi and vyadhi will have an interplay in this sharira. What are the 3 ways? Mithaha, parasparam, one causing the other, one influencing or one generating, one facilitating the manifestation of the other, and then kadachit samamevacha, simultaneously at the same time we will be feeling both adi and vyadhi, and then there will be an experience of sukham and then adi vyadhi. Sukham, adi vyadhi. So there is a paryaya krama. In turns we will experience. So 3 ways of experiencing adis and vyadhis. So that is mentioned here. Means it is a crest and a trough between adi and vyadhi and sukham. So it is an interplay of three things: adi, vyadhi and sukham. This is what defines our life. So that is so beautifully captured here. And now when we come to the word mithaha, samam and paryaya, what does the commentator say? How much time we are left with? Yes. 5 minutes I will take and give the inputs from the commentary. Mithaha, anyonya nimittakatva. So adi causing vyadhi. What do we call this in the current terms? Psychosomatic. But it is a mithaha, the other way around also. What is that? The illness causing mental ailment. So something beyond psychosomatic is also mentioned here. What is the terminology? I am not an expert in medical science. Somatopsychic. So psychosomatic and somatopsychic. How many letters are there in this? So many letters it is. Psychosomatic. In Sanskrit, how much you have? M-I-T-A-H. That's the beauty of the language. That is the potency of the language. Psychosomatic and somatopsychic. All that is conveyed in mithaha jayate. So both these, and it has been observed that both these things happen. Can anyone give the example of psychosomatic illness? Anxiety leading to palpitation. Yes. Somatopsychic, not somatopsychic.
Acne. One acne, pimple. One pimple coming, you look into the mirror and you go psychic.
Yes. So they are mithaha kadachit jayate. So one leading to the other. So Vasishtha, see, if we go by the parampara, Rama and Vasishtha belong to which yuga? Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, Treta. Which yuga? Treta Yuga. So going by the tradition, all this knowledge has come to us in the Treta Yuga. Going by Indological research also, all the studies have been done at least the 10th century. This text, as I mentioned in the introduction, a text called Mokshobhaya forms the core for this Yoga Vasishtha, which was written on a particular mountain in Srinagar. So this text has at least how many? It means thousands of years ago, this knowledge. We are in 2023, at least 1,000 years before, they have thought of the cause. And this is not some stretched or extended interpretation. This comes out naturally. We are not as if extracting the meaning out of the shloka. In certain contexts, they will say, if you read the Ramayana, you will get the Gayatri mantra. All that is out of Shraddha. It is a kind of extraction, kind of not dragging out an interpretation from it, but we don't do any extraneous effort to determine or derive this insight. This is so naturally and easily coming out. So this is anyonyashraya, adi vyadhi, causing illness, and then is kadachit samamevacha. Simultaneously, both adi and vyadhi being experienced. What is the medical terminology for this? I don't know. Sincerely, I do not know. We have psychosomatic and somatopsychic. What does the medical science call when a person experiences both together, or what causes this together? Is this part of human experience? It is quite possible human experience that we get both adi and vyadhi together. The commentator says that yugavat utpannat bahya nimitta, some external cause which suddenly causes both adi and vyadhi to manifest. The immediate example that came to my mind for the yugapat or samam experience is corona. Corona is something external that came, which did not at the same time give both adi and vyadhi at the same time. Everyone was worried and most of us are very ill. So both these bahya nimitta, the explanation also adds value. See, adi, this mithaha means one influencing the other. The nimitta is not outside. Our own adi causing our own vyadhi, and our own vyadhi causing our own adi. Whereas this is a systematic thinking. See, internal causes of internal ways of manifesting vyadhi is first done. And then he goes to the external cause which can cause both adi and vyadhi simultaneously, just like corona, etc. And then paryayena kadachitcha. So this is like a hide and seek game. Like we managed one suffering, we overcame it. And then suddenly pain in the head. Somehow we came out of some anxiety and again pain in the knee. So in this way, paryayena. So sukham vyadhi, sukham adi. So in this way, in an alternate. So these are three beautiful ways in which the life has been observed. So again, when Yoga Vasishtha is famed as a Vedantic text which is considered to think about the Atman which is otherworldly, but you can see how closely human suffering, human experiences, the cause of human suffering, adi vyadhi, simultaneously appearing, alternatively appearing, one influencing the other, so beautifully in a structured manner. Causes of manifestation of adi vyadhi together, put together, that is discussed in this shloka. As I said, in the next shloka, each of it is dealt. 6 causes for adi and 12 causes for vyadhi. So this is what is called as a systematic exposition. First you give the Chaturvyuha analysis, then you take up from where these two appear together or in close connection, and then take up each of this and do analysis. Can there be any more methodical approach in dealing? So this was, medicine was of course treated as a science, and that was manifest through these teachings in a very systematic approach as can be experienced from this. Is this clear? So kadachit. So it is kadachit is also important, that varied experiences. Kadachit, sometimes change with changing atmosphere, changing life experiences, as we age or as we go through different phases of life. Kadachit means, see this kadachit again, we can think about it a lot. So one is aging factor. See, desha, kala, vayo, vritti, shakti. Many factors are sometimes. So sometimes means a change of factors in various dimensions. Sometimes a person may have shifted from one city to the other city, or one country to the other country. Desha, kala, the season, due to the season, vayas, the aging of the person. So vritti, profession, someone may be in one profession, some other person may be doing the other profession. So shakti, the potency or the health condition as such, because of the purva janma karma as you mentioned. So all these, so kadachit is not just a filler. Kadachit is not just a filler. The varied changing situations is captured by the general term Kadachit. Are you with me on this?
Yes.
Do you agree? So hence, so in changing conditions, adhis and vyadhis, sometimes itaha, sometimes samam, sometimes paryaya. So if you want to do another chart from this, is it possible to do? Very much possible. So manifestation of adhi vyadhi together. So that may be the heading. So itaha, paryayena, and then samam will be the chart that will be emerging out of this shloka. So
Samameva cha, we can compare it to Ayurveda where Agantuja Vyadhis. Agantuja means from external cause.
external cause.
Where exogenous causes we call it.
Exogenous cause.
So that is how we can term the terminology
Yes.
we can compare.
Exogenous.
And this.
But the terminology change.
Yeah.
Exogenous, does that is that a direct translation of samam?
No.
The commentator says by an external factor both can manifest at the same time. But what will be the terminology? Madam will guide. You know. So what will be the terminology that can say that a simultaneous manifestation of adi vyadi intrinsically means? So that we can.
Exogenous can become endogenous later,
Later.
if not treated properly. That can also become endogenous. This is how.
So can we now chant this shloka with this background? Yes. Mitha